Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings as usual. And today it was a high scoring game today at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore, where runs were just cascading from the bats of the Aussie and the Pakistani batsmen. But Aussies were the ones who won the race in the end after scoring 367 for 5, thanks to a wonderful opening partnership which added 259 runs for the first wicket, with David Warner silencing a lot of people with a knock of 163 of 124 deliveries, which included 14 fours and 9 sixes. And Mitchell Marsh was not far behind with 121 of 108 balls, 10 fours and 9 sixes. And Mitchell Marsh was the birthday boy today. And both of them really exploded against the Pakistani batting. But also one has to understand the fact that this particular pitch was an absolute belter at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bangalore, where runs were just flowing in like water. And the pitch was very easy to bat on, nothing for the bowlers, and I have to say it was a minefield of a pitch where batting was extremely easy, and coupled with that, we had a lightning outfield. The ball was just racing across to the fence. You had a value for money for every stroke you played, and that's what precisely happened. And looking at the card, as I said, Australia totaled up 367 for 9, and their highest in this particular World Cup, I would call. With David Warner and Mitchell Marsh taking on the Pakistani bowlers. Yes, Shaheen Shah Afridi, I thought they played with some sort of caution, but whether it was Hassan Ali, Haris Rauf was totally taken to the cleaners, and every time he came on to bowl, they greeted him with a six. That was the complete dominance that they had. I mean, Haris Rauf is someone who bowls at 150 clicks, and David Warner and Mitchell Marsh taking him head on and slamming him, as they saw that this pitch was the right pitch for them to really launch a real sort of what do you call real fight against the Pakistani bowlers to blunt them, and they blunted them very quickly. There's a 259 runs mammoth partnership that happened. But if you look, the 259 partner, David Warner, one of the shots that he played where he lost his balance and still, managed to flick the ball for a six. And Shaheen Shah Afridi was given such a treatment. Asad Rauf has a tell. Let's have a look at the bowling. Shaheen Shah Afridi came back in a wonderful manner at the death overs. In fact, Pakistan did a wonderful job in the death overs. In the last 7 overs, they conceded, I reckon, it was, if I'm not wrong, either 37 runs or 37 runs, and they picked up the wickets. And Shaheen Shah Afridi, salvaged something with a 5-wicket bag, 10 overs on made and 54 runs and 5 wickets. Hassan Ali, again, given severe tap, 8 overs, none for 57. The spinners, I thought, were the ones who had some control. Iftikhar Ahmed, 8 overs, none for 37. Haris Rauf, 8 overs, 3 for 83. Usama Mir, getting his first game in the World Cup, was slammed to the tune of 82 runs, 1 wicket. He has a high arm bowling action, and that really, when you have a high arm bowling action, it's not easy for a bowler to actually drop the ball flat. And because of that, there was a lot of flight in his deliveries, and Warner and Mitchell Marsh really climbed onto him, 1 for 82, his figures, and Mohammad Nawaz, 7 overs, none for 43. But looking at the Aussie card here, if you look at 367, I have to give credit to the Pakistani bowlers to come back in a big way. Because if you have 259 for the first wicket in 33.5 overs and you end up with 367 for 9, then it is. I mean, if you look at it, they only added 107 runs in the balance 17 overs with all the wickets in the kitty. They had 9 wickets, and I know that is not something which is done. So credit to the Pakistani bowlers, because if you look at the card after David Warner and Mitchell Marsh, there's nothing to talk about. Um, Maxwell Duck, Stephen Smith 7, Marcus Stoinis 21, Josh Inglis 13, Manas Labuschagne 8, Pat Cummins not out 6, 2 to Mitchell Stark, Hazelwood Duck. So definitely a commendable job by Pakistan bowlers to come back at the death and really, really throttle the Australian batting and keep them to just 367. Otherwise, I'm sure Australia could have ran a total of probably in excess of 425 odd. Nevertheless, now it's a turn for Pakistan to chase 3 series. Now, one is that, as I said, the pitch was playing easy. As I said, lightning outfield, nothing to worry about. It's only a matter of Pakistan would have definitely believed in themselves, because the other day they staged they hold the world record which they did against Sri Lanka, where they chased a total of 345 very successfully, with Mohammad Rizwan scoring a century. So today, Pakistan would have definitely trusted themselves. Yes, they walked in with that same determination, and we saw, even though the opening partnership, which was put by Abdullah Shafiq, who is a very classy player, and Imam ul Haq also getting into the groove, one could call, on a pitch, on this pitch, who would not get into the groove? Such was the pitch. I mean, if you look at the batting, the opening partnership, yes, the opening partnership was really building that platform for Pakistan to attack. But, definitely full credit to Abdullah Shafiq, who made 64 of 61 deliveries with 7 4s and 2 6s, and Imam ul Haq making 70 of 71, 10 4s. So definitely, I wouldn't say they were absolute match to Australia, but they definitely showed that they were meaning business, and they did well. They did well to score 134 for the first week and 21.1 overs, which was good going according to me. And because you have to set a platform, and they were definitely doing that, and everything was going well. But then Marcus Stoinis, I mean, they were also wondering as to where the wicket is going to come from, and then Stoinis struck with his very first delivery. He picked up the wicket. I think it was the first wicket to go was Abdullah Shafiq, who was caught by Maxwell of the bowling of Stoinis, trying to loft him, probably, I mean, trying to pull his ball, and the ball, went into the air, and Maxwell held it. And then Imam ul Haq fell a victim to Stoinis as well. Stoinis taking the second wicket as well, caught very well in the deep by Mitchell Stark for 70. Now, there were two powerhouses, Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan, and if they could get these 2 wickets, Australia were definitely in the game. If they were not able to, then we all know what would have been the outcome. But Babar Azam's wicket, Zampa started it all. The Adam Zampa, the leg spinner, and this is the second time he has gone and taken a 4-wicket bag in this World Cup. So that is going to give him immense confidence going into the remaining matches. And he first picked the wicket of Babar Azam, and that is a big, big fish. We all know that. As this was a good matchup according to me, and this was Babar Azam trying to send him into the open territory, I would say. But the ball, bowled with a flatter trajectory from Adam Zampa, and that was it. He actually drove it, and it was Cummins who actually, it was a pull shot which was played by Babar Azam, and it was Cummins who picked up the catch, but well caught by Cummins, I thought. And then that was the big wicket they wanted. And then we saw some little stands being created. Mohammad Rizwan was the centerpiece there, and Pakistan's hopes totally hinged on this man, Mohammad Rizwan. And we all know what Mohammad Rizwan can do. But the other players, Saud Shakil, yes, they all briefly prospered, but they could not go on. South Shakil was out for 30, and again Zampa got into the mix. In fact, Iftikhar Ahmed definitely looked a bit dangerous because he had slammed Cummins for sixes. He also slammed Zampa for a six, and in fact, he hit Cummins for two sixes. And then the next over of Stoinis, they took 13, and this suddenly the run rate was the required run rate came up to some, I think, 8.14 or something. But Zampa was the one who definitely took Australia to victory because he picked up the big wicket of Iftikhar Ahmed for 26. And again, this was the arm ball from the leggy, and this guy Iftikhar Ahmed actually missed it, and he was a goner. He was trapped in front of the stumps. Mohammad Nawaz made 14, left his wicket. Zampa had him stumped by Inglis for 14. Usama Amir having his first time, getting a chance to bat for the first time, was out for a blob to the bowling Hazelwood, who was the best bowler today. And Shine Shah Fredi clubbed two boundaries out for 10. And after that was never going to be anything of a fight. Adam Zampa, I think, had done everything that could be done. And Adam Zampa probably would have been my man of the match because of the wicket being an absolute batting pitch. But one could understand why David Warner was given the man of the match, because if he probably had scored something like Mitchell Marsh, probably Adam Zampa might have taken the man of the match. But I believe because of his big knock that he played of 163, David Warner was given the man of the match, and definitely he deserved it, no doubt about it. And that was the end for the Pakistan. But Pakistan, it definitely looked like really getting on, but finally they bowled out for 305. Australia winning the match by 62 runs. And if you look at the bowling, Mitchell Starc 1 for 65. Hazelwood, look at the bowling figures on a batting pitch. If a bowler can bowl with such metronomic efficiency, it is something to be absolutely, commended for that. 10 overs, one maiden, 1 for 37 is returns. Pat Cummins, 7.3 overs, no maiden, 2 for 62. Zampa, 10 overs, 53 and 4 wickets. So that was the best thing to happen for Australia. Glenn Maxwell, 5 overs, none for 40. And Glenn Maxwell, yes, for the first time, Glenn Maxwell found it a bit difficult. Normally, as you know, he has been bowling a very tight line, but today on this batting pitch, it was quite difficult. And that's the precise reason I said Josh Hazelwood's bowling figures should be in gold, actually, in this particular batting pitch. 10 overs, one maiden, 1 for 37. Marcus Stoinis, 5 overs, 2 for 40, provided the breakthroughs, which Australia were direly looking out for. And that's it, my friends, as far as this game is concerned. Now, let us see the point standings here. So Australia finally have done it, and they have gone ahead of Pakistan now. Even though Australia, South Africa, and Pakistan all have 4 points, Australia's run rate has picked up. So they have definitely displaced Pakistan, and they've gone one run above Pakistan now. So New Zealand, India, South Africa, Australia. Tomorrow, South Africa, crunch game coming up. It's a double header tomorrow on a Saturday in the World Cup. South Africa taking on England. What a game that is going to be. And the first game is between Netherlands and Sri Lanka. Let's not forget, Netherlands just upset South Africa. So Netherlands, Sri Lanka, according to me, is going to be another crunch game, according to me, because Sri Lanka have to really do. I mean, they definitely have the talent, but they have to really get it to the middle. Netherlands, you just can't take them lightly, especially after upsetting South Africa. You have to be extremely wary of Netherlands. Well, dear fans and subscribers, as usual, this cricket show ends today, and looking forward to meeting you all tomorrow on my next Cricket Happening show with the double header that is coming up tomorrow in the World Cup. Till such time that happens, this is your Ram saying goodbye.